to a new reading vlog. One day I will remember to start a reading vlog before I've already taken off all my makeup and I've been laying in bed and I look like a disheveled mess. Today is not that day. It is Tuesday, July 14th, and I have just finished my third book in the Christmas and July-a-thon TBR. I just finished Chasing Christmas Eve by Shalvis. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars, maybe a 3.5. I really enjoyed the writing. There were some great funny moments. There was great chemistry between the characters. I just think there maybe could have been a little bit more growth personally for each of the characters. They definitely did go through a lot and I liked the development they went through. I just think we could have dove a little bit deeper into that. And the other thing is she had this thing for like using non-swear words for swear words, which is just a pet peeve of mine. The only people that can do it is The Good Place. Any other time it's just annoying. And the other thing is she kept it a secret that she was this best-selling author. I don't know, I didn't understand why the secret was kept or exactly how it was kept. It was just weird. I didn't love that part of the story. But other than that, I did still enjoy the book. The last book on my Christmas and July-a-thon TBR is 25 Days Till Christmas by Poppy Alexander. I also have this one as an audiobook. This is, for the prompt, a book you meant to read last year, so last Christmas. This is one I've had on my favorites in Hoopla for quite a while. I saw it in a reading vlog last Christmas, maybe even the Christmas before, I'm not 100% sure, and I don't even remember whose reading vlog it was at this point, but I went and like looked it up and I was like, oh, I should read that, it looks really good, and I just haven't, so I'm going to pick that one up for that prompt. This one follows a woman who recently lost her husband and is now a single parent as well as a widow, but she's trying to find the love and magic of Christmas again, and I think give her son a really like memorable, magical Christmas. And with all this in her plan to make this beautiful Christmas, she finds herself falling in love. I'm a little hesitant for this one because it is a widow romance and then a single parent romance as well, and I have not read anything like that before and I don't know how much I'm going to like it, but I'm definitely willing to give it a try, and it's just got the cutest little cover ever, so I want to try it. My other book I'm reading is Party of Two by Jasmine Gilroy. I am exactly halfway through. I kind of want to finish tonight. We'll see if that is possible because I am loving it. I love Olivia so far and I love her love interest, and it's just so good, so I cannot wait to keep reading that, and I will update you when I'm done with that one as well. It is Thursday. I don't have a reading update right now, but I do have a little book haul I want to throw into this vlog. I went to Half Price Books today, obviously with a mask and everything, as you saw, and it's the first time I've gotten to go since March, so I was very excited. I had a gift card I wanted to use the rest of, and I got quite the great haul today. I'm so excited, so I just wanted to show you the books I got. First, I got Any Duchess Will Do by Tessa Dare. This is an author I have seen recommended a lot on Riley Marie's channel, so I thought I would pick one up and give it a try, and I just thought it would be a perfect poolside read. Another poolside read, I also got The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoop. I saw this recommended, or this author recommended, on Avery Loves Books, so I thought I would give her a try as well, and these both have really interesting sounding summaries. And then I am so excited for this pile. I got 5 out of 6 of the Bloodlines series, and I am just so happy I got these. They're all hardcover. They were $9 each, but I had a gift card for $50, so I ended up only paying $5 over the gift card amount. Let me show you the ones I got. These are not in order, but I got 1 through 5. There is the Fiery Heart, Silver Shadows, the Indigo Spell, the Golden Lily, And the first in the series is Bloodlines. These are all by Rochelle Mead. This is the sequel series to Vampire Academy, and I am so excited to pick these up. Like, this might very well get onto my July TBR if I can read my other books I want to read fast enough. If not, this is definitely something I'll be reading next month. I'm so beyond excited. I'm excited to see glimpses into Rose and Dimitri's life post Vampire Academy series, and I'm also excited to see what happens to Adrian because he really got the short end of the stick at the end of the Vampire Academy series. He didn't get anything he wanted other than the fact that he didn't die, so that's a plus. This also follows Sydney, which I'm guessing is this girl, and on the front, and then there's going to be some new characters as well. I wasn't super interested in Sydney as a character at first, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted to read this series, but after finishing the Vampire Academy series, everyone I know online was like, you need to read Bloodlines now, it's so good. So I picked it up. I got the first 5. I don't know which is the 6th one, but I will get that later when I get closer to it. I'm so happy I got this set, and for a pretty affordable price, so I'm very happy. It was so good to return to the bookstore. I haven't been in so long, so that was a very nice way to start my day. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go finish Party of Two by Jasmine Gilroy. I have like an hour and a half left, so I'm gonna go read that and I will update you later. Hello, a reading update. It is still Thursday, just a couple hours later. I have just finished Party of Two by Jasmine Gilroy, and oh my god, I loved it. It was so good. I have now read all of her books that are out so far, and I will be reading every book that she writes and puts out. It was so good. Olivia and I, the main character, are different in a lot of ways. I'm not a lawyer. I'm much younger than her. But just the way that she thinks and the way that she processes things, I just connected with on such an incredible level. And I really, really loved her. And the way that she grew emotionally throughout the book was just really incredible to see. And she was very confident in who she was and how she wanted to live her life, but she let that grow alongside her relationship, and I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. I really, really loved it. I don't know, of the books I've now read, of all of Jasmine's, I don't know which is my favorite. I still really, really love The Wedding Date, but it might be like The Wedding Date and then like Party of Two is right under it. But I also loved the one with Maddie, and the proposal was so funny. The Royal Holiday is definitely not the last on my list, but in general, her writing is so, so good, and I just loved these books, and I cannot wait to read whatever she puts out in the future. So my next reads, along with the audiobook, I'm still listening to 25 Days Till Christmas. Is that what it's called? 25 Days? It's something like that. I'm enjoying that one. I'm like 3 hours in. It would make a perfect movie, by the way. I'm picturing Emilia Clarke as the main character. I just think she would make an adorable main character in this Christmas movie. She did a Christmas movie last year, but it was okay. This one would be really good. My 2 next physical reads are going to be A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, and I also really want to start The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoop, which I just hauled. I'm very excited. This is the book in the series that I have yet to read. I read ACOTAR and A Court of Mist and Fury and ACOWAR last week-ish, and those were all rereads, but this is the first time I am reading this. I know this one, a lot of people don't like this one, and I think that's because it's 227 pages. When I said ACOWAR was too long, this is not the solution to that problem. This is a novella, I would say. I mean, 227 pages could be a novel, but not in Sarah J. Maas's world, so I'm not really sure why she chose to publish this. I think it's kind of going to act as the bridge in between the beginning of the series, where we have Farah's story and all of that set up, to the second half of the series, where I think we're going to be able to explore a lot more of the characters, which I'm so excited about. I love Farah, I do, but I want to hear everyone else's story. I want, most specifically, to hear Nesta's story. I just think I am a lot like Nesta. I just understand where she's coming from, and I really just want to see deeper into her mind, and I cannot wait for the next release. I'm not even sure when it comes out. I want to say January, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna read that, and then I am very excited. I just really feel like picking this little like mass market paperback up, and I've heard good things about this author. It sounds good. I will give you a quick summary. It is about a lawyer in New York. I don't know what year, but obviously it's an historical romance, but it's set in New York instead of like somewhere in England, like a lot of historical romances are. And he is finally getting the reputation he wants, and he's practicing law in New York, and everything is going perfect in his life except for this daughter of one of his like most wealthy, important clients. She is kind of a dangerous woman. It's described that she's a modern day Robin Hood. She gets into a lot of trouble and he is just like, you need to calm down, you're ruining everything. And then when they meet, some sparks fly and it goes on from there, which sounds like such an interesting story. I cannot wait to pick it up, and I really love this cover. I'll be honest, in the past I feel like I've always made fun of romance covers like this, but what's wrong with a pretty dress on the cover? I think it looks good. I like it. I don't love when there's live people on covers, which is the case in almost all mass market paperback romances. It's either people or like a picture of a cottage. I think it looks really cute and her dress is gorgeous, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see if there's any disability rep in this book, because I know in her other one, I saw that one recommended in a video, the guy is deaf and she has like really severe social anxiety, so I wonder if she includes disability rep in a lot of her books or if that was just in that book. But I'm still very excited to read this, and I feel like this has been a really long update, so I'm going to close it out here and I will update you when I have started one of these. Hello, a reading update. It is Sunday evening-ish. I hate that I update in this spot always. I'm always sitting right here, but whatever. I have two updates. So first, I finished my TBR for the Christmas and July-a-thon. I finished 25 Days Till Christmas by Poppy Alexander, and I ended up having mixed feelings because the first, I think it was like a 10-hour audiobook. The first 9 hours were fantastic. I loved the story. I loved how Christmassy it was, and it wasn't like overly romantic. It really was just the story of Katie and her life and her grief and her kid, and it was really, really well written. And then in the last hour of the book, it just got a little weird and like in a way that made me kind of uncomfortable. He volunteered with this like suicide hotline type of thing, and at the end of the book she had been going through a lot of rough things with her job and her child and figuring out school with him, and she's still dealing with the grief of the loss of her husband from a couple years ago. And she gets in this weird spot and she makes this phone call to HR at her work, and she's like, oh, there's this part in the contract that if I die that there would be like still benefits for my family, I think. And she's like, does that only apply if I die at work? And she's like, no, really it would apply if you die anywhere. And it was like setting it up like she had these ideas to commit suicide. And I was so taken aback because it was so off character from this story. I was really confused by that. And then there had been a sort of sexual assault kind of thing that played a part in that process as well, and that was hard to read. And then she ended up making a phone call to the helpline that the love interest volunteered at, and he's the one who answered the phone, and pretty quickly he realized that it was her calling, and she's at this bridge and he thinks she's gonna jump off the bridge. And from when you're reading her perspective, it kind of looks like that too. She never explicitly stated that, but it looked like that's what was gonna happen. And I was like, is this book gonna end like this? Like I should have read reviews. What's going on? He breaks all the rules of being on a helpline, and he figures out where she is because it's the bridge near where she lives, and he runs there basically and finds her. He thinks that she's going to commit suicide, but then it's revealed that she was just thinking about moving and like moving to another town. And I just really did not like that idea being used as a plot twist at the end of the book, and like the miscommunication. Everything in the writing did not sit right with me. And it's hard because I loved the beginning of the book. It was a really well written story, and I think it would make an adorable Christmas movie, but that part would have to be addressed differently somehow. I just think it was really weirdly written. I don't know, and it just made me feel weird. I didn't like it. So especially if you don't want to read a book that has anything to do about suicide, which is actually a topic I don't usually read about. I don't like reading a lot of sad type of contemporary books, and that one I would have, if I had known that was at the end, even in the way it was mentioned, like no one actually died in this book, I just didn't like it the way it was there, and I might not have picked it up if I had known that was at the end of it. I also finished The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoop. This one is gonna get a 5 out of 5 stars from me. I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun story. Mamie was fiery and confident and so kind-hearted at the same time. The work she was doing was so inspiring, and she was doing it in a funny way sometimes, which I loved. And I really liked Frank as well. He had a very complicated history and a lot of like dark things that happened in his life that he was trying to overcome, and really they just brought out the best in each other in a funny way a lot of the time, and I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be picking up more books by Joanna in the future, but I will definitely be reading anything she writes. This was such a fun book. I love that it took place 1891. It's sort of right around that era of Newsies. Newsies happens in the late 1890s. I believe Clockwork Princess also takes place in the 1890s. There's a funny little line at the very end of it where they reference Teddy Roosevelt, which just made me laugh because that makes me think a little bit of Newsies too. It was a fun read, great chemistry between these characters, great growth of each of their personalities, so I really loved it. There was a little bit I would say like a light trigger warning for sexual assault in this one. There was one scene, it wasn't graphic by any means, and nothing happened by the end of the scene, but I will just mention that if that is something you try to avoid, you could really like skip that chapter, get away with still understanding the story if you just didn't want to read that. And now, I said I was going to be splitting time between my 2 physical reads, but this one has just kept me so enthralled that I read the whole thing. So now I'm going to start A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I'm hoping to finish this by Tuesday maybe. It's Sunday now. I don't think I'll be doing any more reading today just because I am planning on having a bit of a Marvel movie marathon, but I also really would need to get to Breaking Dawn soon because Midnight Sun comes out in a couple weeks. Not that Breaking Dawn takes me very long to read, but I would like to finish this in a couple days. As for my next audiobook, I have 3 audiobooks on hold at the library that came in all at once, and I haven't picked which one I'm going to read yet, so I'll just go ahead and update you on that later when I pick one. So that is my update for now, and I will see you later this week. Hello, a quick reading update. I feel like I look especially pale in this lighting. It's kind of cloudy out today, which is pretty rare, but I wanted to do a reading update. Sorry if you can hear the music in the other room, it's not important. So it is Tuesday now, and I actually read a whole book yesterday. I read the Bromance book club by Lissa K. Adams. I listened to the audiobook, and I wasn't planning on reading the whole thing, but I did, and it was an absolute delight. So it follows this main character, Grant. He's been married for a couple years, and they have a set of twin daughters, but at this point in their marriage, things are getting quite rocky. He has moved out, but he wants to win her back. He doesn't really see at first all the things that were wrong in their relationship, and some of his friends bring him to this book club where this group of guys read romance novels and learn about relationships in that way and can apply it to their own relationships to better the relationships. And it was just so much fun. It had little clips of the Regency romance novel he was reading to learn from, and it had some point of views from the wife as well, and it was just such a good read. It was so cute and so much fun, and there was great growth and like emotional development throughout the story from both husband and wife, and it was just such a good read. I gave it 5 stars. I have put the sequel on hold. The sequel will be following the sister-in-law and one of the other guys from the Bromance book club, and I cannot wait. And I also heard from someone on Instagram, actually the author Sarah Smith told me that there is also going to be a Netflix adaptation of this movie. I haven't looked up anything further to see where they are with that. I think it's probably just they've bought the rights to the movie at this point, but I think this would make an adorable movie. I am personally imagining Tyler Hoechlin, if that's how you say his last name, from Teen Wolf, who played Derek, probably because I just watched the rom-com Can You Keep a Secret, and he was in that. But I also think he would do really well in this role because this guy is a baseball player, so he has to be super physically fit. And I mean, Derek from Teen Wolf he would be great, I'm just saying. And then because so many holds came in on my library at once with audiobooks, I have already started The Boyfriend Project by Farah Rokin. The inciting incident at the beginning was that she is getting ready for a date and her sister finds this like live tweet thread on Twitter, and she sees that all these details from this girl's first date that she's live tweeting is exactly like the first date she went on with her current boyfriend, and she very quickly realizes that it is her boyfriend and he is cheating on her with this woman that is live tweeting. And so she goes to the restaurant to confront him, be like, boy, bye, this was ridiculous. And another girl also shows up, so he was dating 3 women at once and they form a bond over that. And he's, you know, kicked to the curb, obviously. And that is about where I am at. She works at some fancy tech company, and I think they're in Austin, Texas. I know nothing about technology, but that is where I am. I'm only 11% into that. As for my other reading update, I am 45 pages into A Court of Frost and Starlight. I wasn't in the mood for reading this last night. I just wanted to finish the Bromance book club. But this I am liking so far, mostly because we're getting Farah's perspective, Reese's perspective, which we've gotten both of them before, mostly Farah, obviously. But there's also a chapter from Cassian's point of view, and oh my god, it was so good. I really wish the whole series had been told like this, where we're getting little bits and pieces of everyone. I really hope there is a Nesta chapter in here as well. I don't know if there is. I just would love to see everyone's point of view, and this is getting me so excited for the rest of the series. I think it's going to be an incredible thing to expand this world into all the different characters, so I cannot wait to read that. There's also this book on an app called Swoon Reads. It's called Vengeance or something, that I told the author I would have read by the end of July, and it's the 21st, so we'll see if I get to that. I'm liking it, but it's the whole idea of the Swoon Reads app is it's a manuscript and you read it and give feedback. It's not like a published book, and that's all fine. I'm fine with that. I just don't like reading on my phone, and I don't know, but there's no other way to get that anywhere else. Like, you have to read it on the app, I'm pretty sure, so that's annoying. But maybe I'll do some reading of that today. Mostly today I have just been watching BookTube so far. I am watching Miss Dunn Reads. I've been binging a lot of her reading vlogs. That is my update for Tuesday, and I will hopefully update you when I'm done with A Court of Frost and Starlight, or I've done something else semi-productive. Hello, an update. It is Wednesday. Ignore how flushed I am from being outside in the 110-degree heat. It's hot, but I just got back from Half Priced Books. I went to bring in a couple books that I was unhauling. They were only able to take like half of the bag because they were closed for so long, so I totally get it. They can't be buying a lot of inventory right now, and I only got $5. But you know what? I just needed them out of the way because they did not fit on my shelf. I might try and sell the other ones on Instagram or eBay, or I might just donate them somewhere. I don't know. I haven't decided. While I was there, to completely cancel out the fact that I made $5 on books, I bought 2 more. So I got The Prince of Broadway by Joanna Shoop. This is the sequel to the book I just read, which was The Rogue Fifth Avenue. I was so excited when I saw this. There's no way I'm passing this up. Plus it was $3.99, so who cares? I did bend it a little in the bag. That's my fault, but it's fine. I'm so excited to read this. I'll be picking it up very soon. This one will be following Florence. She is one of the younger sisters. I believe she's the middle sister, and she just seems so interesting to me. She is a suffragette. She sneaks out and goes to casinos all the time, and her romance is going to be with Clayton Madden, who is known for being sort of this mob boss kind of guy. He owns the biggest casino, so that is going to be so good. I just know it. And then the third book in this series, which will follow the youngest sister, either just came out or is coming out very soon, but I will hopefully be able to find that one eventually too. And then from the clearance section, I picked up Tempting the Laird by Julia London. I've wanted to try a Julia London book for a while. This one just sort of caught my eye because it was in the clearance section, and I've read a Scottish romance before and I liked it, and this summary sounds really interesting. I don't know how to say her name. I think it's just Katrina, but it's like spelled weird. Katrina Mackenzie has this reputation for being unruly, unmarried, unapologetic, and she sounds great. And he is sort of got this reputation right now, his name is Hamlin, that he is suspected murderer because his wife mysteriously disappeared and I think is assumed dead, if not found dead. I don't think he actually will be the murderer, but there's some mystery there, so this sounds really interesting and I can't wait to pick this one up as well. And it's in pretty okay condition for $2. When it comes to these like mass market paperbacks, I don't care if they're in perfect condition, I just want to read them. Ooh, and it's got a step back, I didn't even see that. Oh my god, I'm way too excited about that, but look how pretty that is. Not the best step back I've seen, and it's a live photo instead of art, but it's pretty cool. It's from 2018, so it's not even that old. As for a reading update, I did in fact finish A Court of Frost and Starlight last night. I really loved this book. I definitely see how some people criticize it because nothing happens, but I also think people need to remember it is a novella. It is meant to just give us extra scenes with these characters, not necessarily have its own separate plot. And I really liked all the things it's setting up for the future. I think it's gonna be so cool to see the stuff we have coming. Nesta and Cassian, the very last scene in this novella sets up their book, and oh my god, I can't wait. So they are going to be in the Highlands and working with the Illyrian warriors because Nesta was acting ridiculous in this book. She's driving me crazy, and I know this is just her handling her trauma and her grief, but really she needs help. And Cassian is going to be the one to do that because he's bringing her to the Illyrian war camp, and I'm assuming she's going to train or at least do something that's not drinking all day and all night. So I'm so excited for that. I also really am excited to see Farah and Rhys's story continue as well, especially, which I'm not going to spoil this one just because I feel like it's still a fairly recent release, the scene where she decides what to give him for the winter solstice. I am so excited. Okay, so, and I know it's not something that's happened right now, and it might not happen for a long time, and I feel like by what I'm saying you can so easily guess what I'm talking about, but like, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good. I love all these characters so much, and I'm also very excited to see what happens between Lucian and Elaine and Asriel, that sort of triangle thing happening. I really do love Lucian, and I think he deserves to find love and happiness. In Elaine, I think they would go well together. They're so, like, different but similar in the same way, and I would love them to be together, also because they're mates, but also Elaine obviously has such a soft spot for Asriel, and that'll be interesting. Also, I think Morgan deserves a whole series because she just gets the short end of every stick, basically. Like, I was gonna say not a lot bad has happened to her, but literally terrible things have happened to her, and I just want her to be happy. I just want her to be able to share herself with her family and find someone for herself to love. So I am so excited for the future of the series. I don't know even when the next one comes out, but can't wait for it. I will be there. My next read is actually in the other room, and I'm not gonna go get it, but it is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. I'm gonna go start that now because I want to finish my reread before Midnight Sun comes out in a couple weeks, and I'm very excited because Breaking Dawn is my favorite of the series, and I am very excited to reread it and then rewatch the movies because those are also my favorite movies. So that is my update, and I will talk to you later. Update from Thursday. I am actually only, I think, like 205 pages into Breaking Dawn. Loving the reread. I am in Jacob's point of view right now, and I just love reading things from his point of view. I think he is such an hilarious narrator, and if she feels generous still after Midnight Sun, I would love a Jacob and Renesmee book, because I just think Jacob is such a fun character to read, even if, like, sometimes I hate him. Anyway, this is not really a reading update so much as Taylor Swift is coming out with an album tonight, that is the news I woke up to this morning. I'm so excited. I just cannot believe it's happening. I just did my makeup for my album release party that I'm having by myself. We are gonna I think get some takeout tonight, but I'm just so excited. I'm gonna try and keep myself busy and read Breaking Dawn for the next couple hours. So there's still like 6 hours, I think, ish, 6 or 7 hours until the album is out my time. So there's gonna be a music video. Oh my god, I'm dying. So that is my update. I haven't listened to my audiobook. I should, but I probably am not going to today. This wasn't really a reading update. I'm just so excited about Taylor Swift. Okay, bye. Hello. It is about 10 o'clock Thursday, and I still don't have a reading update. I think I read like 2 chapters, but I'm gonna read a little bit later. But I just wanted to capture this moment because I just finished listening to Taylor's new album. It's called Folklore, and it is the best album she's ever made. I just loved it so much, and obviously I've only listened to it once, so I haven't absorbed everything, but it just gives me this feeling of warmth and magic and hope and sadness at the same time, and it was so beautiful. I said in an Instagram post, it gives me that feeling of when Harry looks up at Hogwarts for the first time, or when Lucy steps into Narnia for the first time and like sees the snowy lamppost, and when Sam in Lord of the Rings tells Frodo that there is still good in this world and that they need to fight for it. And it was just so good. It was so beautiful, and I just wanted to somehow capture this moment, even if it's just in a random reading vlog, because it was just the most magical thing ever. I'm gonna go watch the music video a few more times and then probably just listen to it on repeat, and maybe I'll get some reading done while doing that. We'll see. It's been a weird day, except that this makes it all better because it was just absolutely incredible, and I'm really, really happy. So that is my update. I will update you hopefully when I am finishing Breaking Dawn. Hello, I wanted to close out this reading vlog. It is very late Saturday night. I guess it's technically Sunday, but we don't need to talk about that. I have still 200 pages left of Breaking Dawn. I have made quite a bit of progress today because I didn't do like any reading yesterday, but I have just like exactly 200 pages left actually. And I'm loving it. Obviously, this is my favorite in the series, and I really like the period in the book where it's from Jacob's point of view. I just love seeing that. I think it's so interesting, and one of my favorite scenes just happened a little bit ago. I think the scene where Bella delivers Renesmee is just so interesting, and like how Edward uses the venom straight in her heart. I just, for some reason, am so fascinated with that scene. And now Bella is a vampire, obviously, and I love the developments that come with that. And we also just got the news about the Volturi, so things are picking up. But it's late, and I haven't been sleeping well the last couple nights, so I'm gonna go to bed early and just go ahead early. It's 1 a.m. Jesus. But I'm gonna close out this reading vlog anyways, so I can post this in the morning. But I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I will be finishing this book tomorrow and then starting my new reading vlog with something new. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. We'll see. Midnight Sun comes out like next week or the week after, so that's all I can think about. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I upload reading vlogs every other week on Sunday, and I have actually been consistent with my other booktube videos on the opposite Sundays, so that's fun. And I have a couple videos coming out soon that I am so excited for, so I hope you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.